Subscribing to The Observer on YouTube couldn't be easier, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that. First, navigate to www.youtube.com/theobservernj. Once you get there, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button, click the down arrow and then all. And that's it. You're subscribed, and now anytime The Observer is live, you will be notified. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you live from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the second day of December in the year 2025. Sure hope you're enjoying this day, no matter how miserable it is out there. It's 38 degrees, as you can see on the screen. It's been raining all day up in Sussex County where my mother lives. It was kind of snowing this morning when she had to go out for a couple of reasons this morning. So hope you're all enjoying the day despite this very, very gloomy weather. Of course, it's not as bad as they had originally said. There were reports of like 15 inches of snow at one point early on in the forecast, but it looks like it has kind of stayed all kind of wet over the last couple of hours here in this neck of the woods. So hope you can make the most out of this day as best as you can. As you do each and every Tuesday, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you this week's news. I have this week's front page up on the screen, but I'm going to take it off again because I just got this a few minutes ago from Melanie Ryan. And this is a special visit where Santa Claus will be coming into Town Hall on Saturday, December 6th, which happens to be this Saturday from noon until 2 p.m. And visitors will be able to get a free photo with Santa Claus, and it is for children ages 4 through 10. So if you don't have any plans on Saturday between noon and 2 p.m., head on over to Kearney Town Hall and get a chance to meet with Santa Claus, and the mayor will be there as well. I'm sure there will be others as well. And just keep in mind that this event is only for Kearney residents, but I don't know if they would necessarily check you. If they would, I would be surprised, but I would just keep it to Kearney residents just to be safe, since that's what it says on the flyer. That is brought to you by the Recreation Commission, where Ralph Katafi is always doing good work, along with the Recreation Commissioners, including Lila DeCastro, Lou Batista, and all the rest, Tara Glancy, and I know there's a few that I'm missing, and I apologize for that. This week's front page, each year, I want to tell you a little story about Jack Satter. Jack lives in Kearney, and a couple of years ago, actually it's more than a couple of years ago now, Jack walked into the office and we looked at him and he said, "Oh my God, if this isn't Santa Claus in the flesh, I don't know who is." He just plays a magnificent Santa Claus. And what I've always admired about Jack is that, you know, yeah, you make some money off of it, but he just brings so much joy to the kids when he visits with them. And all of what you see on his face there is natural. He grows the beard, dyes the beard gray, same with his hair, and he just fits the role of Santa so well. And each year he writes a message to the children of Kearney and to all around. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody from Kearney. And this year we feature it on the front page for the first time. And we want to thank Jack for allowing us to do that. And the little youngsters that you see there as well with Santa Claus, that is a great thing right there, and we're so happy that's Johnny's grandson right there on the front page of this week's edition of The Observer. But again, Jack Satter, just a really great guy. He's from Kearney. If you ever want to hire him to be Santa at a family party or gathering or anything like that, I know he's probably booked up at this point, but let us know and we'll put you in touch with Jack, because he does phenomenal work as Santa Claus. Now, just the day before Thanksgiving, the Meals on Wheels program was in full force, and people were out bringing meals to people who are shut in for Thanksgiving. This is an annual program. Meals on Wheels is out all the time. If you see the truck all the time. I see it in my neighborhood. One of my neighbors gets meals delivered every day, I think, pretty much, or a couple of times a week. And they do a special Thanksgiving delivery on the day before Thanksgiving. And what you see there is that's Lila DeCastro, Mayor Doyle, and Police Chief Scott McPhee, Nellie Albizu, and Councilwoman Mary Treen DeCastro. And Mary Treen kind of coordinates this with Senator Angela McKnight, who donated a lot of the food this year for the program. So our own Jace McPhee wrote the story. Take a look at it on page number 3, and it's one of the so many programs, not just in Kearney, but in our readership area that are out there that benefit the people. And it's so vital to so many people. You don't realize it, I guess, especially if you don't rely on food being delivered to you on a regular basis, how important these lifelines are to the people of our neighborhoods nearby. So please check that out. And a quick word about Jace McPhee also. Jace was our intern for the last semester, and he's finishing up now. Yeah, he's the son of Scott McPhee, the police chief, and he did a phenomenal job during this semester. It was a pleasure and an honor to have him as an intern, but he's really not an intern because he was very well prepared coming into all of this. And he's an excellent writer, and he's going to stick around and still write some things for us in the coming months. So I really want to thank Jace for taking on this project. Not easy for somebody who's just about to graduate undergrad to take on an internship like this, but he did, and he did it with class and grace. Thank you, Jace. We appreciate all that you did. Now, last week, also on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the New Jersey Association of Chiefs of Police, I believe, put this together. It's called Goal Zero. And the idea was that there was going to be a blanketed coverage of police officers during certain hours on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. The statistics tell them that the date is one where people get drunk driving arrests quite a bit. And so in the communities that participate in the program, they put out extra officers during that time frame. I think it was 7 to 11 p.m. on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And in Lyndhurst, this was absolutely excellent. They made a significant arrest of this guy here who you see on the screen. But what was even better was they found a gun on him. It was an imitation firearm, but it was modified and taken off the streets. And anytime you can take a firearm off the streets that's not supposed to be there, you've done a good thing. So this program was designed to really warn people about the dangers of drunken driving. And in the process, they not only got somebody who was doing that, but they also pulled a gun off the street. So well done to the Lyndhurst Police Department pulling this off on what they call Black Wednesday, I think. I never heard that term used before, but that's what they're calling it these days. And this is an excellent program. So check it out on page number 4 if you do get a chance. In North Arlington, there is a new fountain that you can see right here. It's along River Road. I have not had a chance to see it yet in person. But what this is doing for River Road is exceptional. And here's why. You all know this if you have driven River Road going back 20, 30 years ago. You drive along River Road, that was just a blighted neighborhood, just almost the entire length. There were so many buildings on the riverfront that were abandoned. You think of some of those old garages that were over there, and they were just complete and utter eyesores. But what Mayor Dan Pronti and the Borough Council wanted to do was really kind of rectify or resurrect the corridor of River Road. And this is part of that project that the mayor and the council set out to do and have completed now. So check out the fountain. It's a great spot. It's a really nice spot for pictures. And in the story, you'll see what the mayor says is, like a lot of times when kids are going to the prom, they want to take pictures. And when they do, they wind up having to go out of town because there's really nowhere in the borough of North Arlington to take the pictures. Well, now there is. And there'll be other things that the borough is working on as well to continue to beautify the whole corridor there along River Road. You know, the old Comcast building has been purchased by the borough, and they're going to be putting a significant amount of parking in there. So a lot of things are happening along the River Road corridor. But this especially is the centerpiece of it all, and it really does make a huge difference on the way things look when you drive along that road. And you're constantly, you know, if you're from this area, you're on River Road a lot. If you're going into Lyndhurst or into Nutley, Belleville, whatever it is you're doing, and you'll see a big difference with this fountain there. Jason Bernstein has 3 sports stories this week, including this one here. And while I have this up, you'll notice we have an advertisement from the township of Lyndhurst. Christmas in the Park is coming up. That's always a fun night. Even if the weather is bad, it's always fun because they have a lot of things going on. It's like a little Christmas festival, music and things of that nature. That is coming up on Saturday the 13th. At 5:30 p.m. at Lyndhurst Town Hall Park. We went a couple of times, you know, when it wasn't too bad weather-wise, and you always have a good time when you go. And they have, like, food set up and chestnuts and peanuts and all sorts of Christmassy things. I know they had a petting zoo, and I didn't get a chance to look at the ad before we went on the air, but I'm sure they always have all sorts of things for the kids to do as well. So it's always a nice night out coming up on December the 13th. So check that out if you get a chance. Now, we get out up into, let me just remind you of this, too. The Carney Tree Lighting Festival is on Thursday this week, too. That starts at 5:30 p.m. with a concert. And then Santa and Mayor Doyle will light the Christmas tree probably around 6:30 or so. And it's always a nice night, too. The music is phenomenal that they pull together from the K-Birds and all sorts of other groups that participate in this event. So that's coming up this Thursday night at 5:30 p.m. over at Town Hall. Now, keep in mind that the roads are going to be blocked off, so you're going to have to park or walk in order to get there, but just be very, very mindful of that the streets will be shut down in the area of Kearney Avenue and the Town Hall. So be prepared for that. There could be some traffic issues, but if you get there early enough, you should be just fine. We are into the classified section. There are 2 pages this week if you need something to you need an apartment to rent or you're looking for a job, anything of that nature, you'll find it all right here in the classified section. So please take a look at that on pages 12 and 13. And this is neat, too. This picture here that Mike Perrone sent us. Eleanor Guarino is 96 years old, and she's going to turn 97 in a couple of weeks. And she's been around for a long time, as you know, just by the sheer number of years she's been alive, but she's been in Belleville most of her life. And Tom the Turkey, which is also Mike Perrone, and that's Frank Velez, the councilman in Belleville, presented her with turkey dinner and a pie on Thanksgiving Eve as well. And Eleanor is just an incredible woman who just keeps on going. And you'd never know by the look of her that she's 96, about to turn 97. So I want to thank Frank Velez and also Mike Perrone, especially for sending over the photo of Eleanor. And check that out when you get a chance. She is really one spectacular human being. And we are very fortunate here to know her. So believe it or not, that's it for now. I want to thank each and every one of you for logging on and joining me today. I know there hasn't been much going on in the chat room, but I know there's some of you are here. Oh, I just turned it on. I did not hear the tones going off. I know Carol Manley is here today. Carol, good to see you. Also, Barbara Condon is here from the Adirondacks. Barbara, good to see you. Bill Scarterfield is here with us from Arizona, where he's not really worried about the weather too much. Manny Ventoso Jr. is here watching us as well, and Lisa Fiorenzo is in the next room, and she is watching us. Let me just pop up the comments here Barbara says she has 6 inches of snow so far. That is crazy. And Bill says, "How would you be? How you be? I'm good, Billy. It's good to see you too. Hope everything is going well. Flyers beat the Devils twice in the last couple of weeks, so that kind of pissed me off. But we'll get over that." Manny, of course, and then also Lisa is here. And oh yeah, I just noticed this too. Eddie McEwen, for the president of the FMBA, is here as well. Eddie, good to see you too. Happy Thanksgiving belated to you, the family, and the kids. And the Devils, I don't know, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. You know, Jack Hughes gets hurt all the time. And this was a freak injury where he either supposedly fell and cut his hand on glass, or he was leaning on glass and he broke a glass table and it cut his hand, and it's caused him to miss like 6 to 8 weeks of time. This guy has never played but one full season without getting injured, and it's getting really, really annoying at this point. And they were playing well up until the last 2 games. The Devils have gone 0-2 in the last 2 home games after starting off 9-0-1. And then all of a sudden, I mean, like, what the hell? But there's something about this guy. I really like him. He's funny. He's a good character on TV. But I am just getting so sick and tired of this guy getting hurt. And I would just love to see him play 82 games. In fact, the most he's ever played in one season is 78 back in 2022-23. But, I mean, come on, man. I mean, how the hell do you cut your hand on a table and go out for 8 weeks? You know, when guys in the NHL would break their hands and break bones, they would be back on the ice before the game was over. And now these guys are taking, with this Hughes, it just keeps going on and on and on. So hopefully a little bit better luck once he gets back. Eddie says hopefully this is the injury out of the way. Let's get it out of the way, because this team was playing so well up to now. And now I'm afraid that we're going to see a backtrack. And that's what always seems to happen. Let's see here. Billy says that the Devils had 6 plus in the box the other night in the first period. Just like stupid penalties. So stupid so often. And Hughes is a lot like the guy the Flyers took when you got Hischier. Oh, yeah, what the hell was his name? I can't even think of it right now. But he was the number 2 pick. Nolan Patrick was the number 2 pick that year, and he's out of the league now. And but the thing is, Hughes, when he is okay, is phenomenal. I mean, the team just sinks with him, and they seem to only play their best hockey when he's playing. But let's see, they're talking about him maybe coming back before the end, just around Christmas time. So let's see what happens, and hopefully things will get better. But what a shame what happened to Nolan Patrick. There were debates about whether or not the Devils should pick Nico Hischier or Nolan Patrick, and they fortunately went with Hischier, because Nolan Patrick, as the number 2 pick, is no longer playing, and that was 17. That's just a shame. And Roman Quinn of the Devils, always hurt. Amen, Billy. You just said it. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox now with the Devils. Hopefully we'll see a little bit better out of them, and continued good success to your Flyers, Billy. We'll see what happens there. All right, now, if anything happens in the course of the next week, I will join you live, of course. But until then, we'll be back a week from today. I want to thank Billy. I want to thank Eddie McEwen. Oh, Larry Hanlon is here, too. I missed you, Larry. Sorry about that. I want to thank Larry for being here. Also, Barbara Condon, Carol Manley, my birthday sister, and anybody who is watching in the background, thank you for joining us today, and we will see you back here 1 week from today. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, it's Kevin Canessa signing off for now, and we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, most importantly, and stay warm. Bye-bye.